here's the thing, in the theology of mission, Ignatius played a very, very important and revolutionized of his word in this term. In his exercise, begin the second week, if you kind of go through all of that before, the whole sense of incarnation, right? Descending, but more importantly, like practical. When Ignatius began to send his Jesuit brothers out to different work, he began to use the word mission. But then in the Constitution, he doesn't use that word. He called labor in the vineyard with the Lord. So what does this, all of this mean? In Ignatius' mind, sort of combined the two things together. He revolutionized the word mission is taking what is very exclusive of the Holy Trinity by sending the Son, the second divine, and like in the gospel, Jesus in turn sent on the disciples. So in his mind, Ignatius, all the people who do the exercise become like the disciples and then being sent. So in his mind, what does the word mission mean? The word mission means participating in the extension work of the divine Trinity. That's what it means. Okay? Participate in the divine work of the divine Trinity. So what does that mean? And this is Father Nicholas, I think, make a very important point, and as you read in the chapter that Pham has been helpful. First and foremost, the mission belongs to God. They still, right? So we're not in charge. It's God in his mysterious or miraculous, by Ignatius seeing, right? Look down in the world. You can have that bird eye view, right? Or you can do an imagination of the whole St. Louis area, or your family, or this SLUH community, and not about what we see. What does the Holy Trinity see? And here's a beautiful prayer. If you want to try this sometime, Lord, help me to put aside my hurt and my pain. Get in touch with what breaking your heart and what's pain in your heart. And see how you respond. See, I think that's a first movement, not about me first, right? But this is also later on in the exercise, so you go into the first week, but now we move to the second week when we already, in a way, settle a little bit. Well, what does that mean by being settled? Let me trace it back a little bit, right? So, in a way, when we ask, like, I'm sure good Catholic, good Christian, maybe Jesuit education, right? We always instill in our head, what am I doing for Christ, right? What can I do? We come here, oh my God, what I can do for Christ. And we just like power more like this. And we call that, especially with Jesuit, workaholic. Just like that. And sometimes that wrapped into the word matches, and we go more like that. That is not, that's dysfunctional. In Spanish, when we say the word, what are you doing for Christ? Pay attention to the word for. I think it's very, very important. In English, when we say, what am I doing for Christ? Who is the center? What am I doing for Christ? Me, right? I mean, just that. Don't you think that's a little arrogant? What am I doing for Christ? And rightly so. In Spanish, the word for, if some people take Spanish, there's two words for the word for in Spanish. Por y para. Okay? And Ignatius used the word por. Por had two meanings. Number one, when I give you something, or you give me something, that I said, this is not fast. I'm very grateful for you have done something for me. So what does that mean? My action is only a response to what Mrs. Snodgrass has initiated doing. So what am I doing for Christ should translate in its true meaning as well. What Christ has done for me, and I am just a response. See that? Right? So because what Christ has done for me, what am I doing? Now, that's only the first part, and that's important. I think most of us get to that point, right? We feel so gratitude, we feel so grateful, and we want to respond. But Ignatius said, hold on. Don't respond so quick. The second part that we're told is by the means of. How did you get here today? Por carro, by car. I don't think anybody walking today, right? So it's that. So por is by the means of. So Ignatius helps us to kind of slow down and also contemplate what the means of Christ. When we respond, we got to respond by the means of Christ. So whenever we think this term, what am I doing for Christ? You know, just like a good Catholic, right? What should I do for Christ? Thing like that. Then slow down and then pause and say, like, what did Christ do for me? Think about back, you know, what Christ has done for me. The deep sense of gratitude. And then all the bones in your like fiber, your beings are like, okay, I'm gonna do something, right? Slow down. Look up and see how Christ responds in the way of Christ, in the way of divine Trinity. We want to imitate that. Because I think a lot of times, to be very honest, we use a lot of our lingo to kind of fit into our own agenda. Even for the greater glory of God, even the mission, even for man and woman for others. Now, what is that now? See, God to do things, and you can name all these things, nations, lingo, things like that. But if we lost our ground in the way the divine Trinity respond, not only participate in the work of divine Trinity, but we imitate how the divine Trinity respond. The way the divine person being sent. Okay, let me highlight a few things. We just celebrated Christmas season. Did you imagine? I don't think we are a Christian, okay? I mean, I probably laugh this a little bit until I'm preaching, but I think it's just like making a point. We don't really believe in the incarnation. I'm really convinced of that. We think that Jesus is sort of like human. He's not really human because he knows everything. No, Jesus didn't know everything as a human. Because then he's not human. He's wrestling with his identity. He come to know who he is through his friends. And by us contemplate that, we learn the way of the Lord. Recently, I gave this retreat to a group of Dominican nuns. Well, it's a miracle in itself, and Dominican by the church that did a retreat, and it's that, right? And you know what? It's really cute. These nuns, you know what? Out of the conversation, one of the sisters shared with me, said, like, for the first time, I come to know that Jesus had a belly button. How many of us think that Jesus had a belly button? Probably think like, wow, he's awesome up there. We don't think like that. But if you can really think, especially a lot of women in this room, you know how intimate connected humanity that is. That Jesus actually had to went through 9 months and 10 days in the womb of Mary. And that connected into the body of Mary and all the nutrition and all of that. And Mary with morning sickness and everything else. What I want to say that is what? That's the way of how God has empty ourselves to become like us. So the manner of what Dave Fleming talked about, the word ayuda, of helping, not our own way of helping. How do we help in the way of the divine Trinity? We look up to Jesus and learn that is the way. So all that we help, all that we do, got to mirror the Holy Trinity. Number one is self-emptying. Number two, think about we have a communal God. What does that mean? That means we gotta collaborate with each other. There are three people doing that. So it's not because we do this because it's efficient. As a Christian, as a nation, maybe efficient as might be, but that's not our rule. Our rule is we imitate the divine Trinity. We help, we work together because the Holy Trinity works together. And the way we empty ourselves when we come together is not my mission. We have something greater here. You know, doing one of the pilgrimages, I was out to the White House to walk, and it was a very little insight. And I was very heartful of kind of gratitude. So I'm very grateful that I belong to something greater. On one hand, that's exciting, but I can hear the invitation. If I belong to something greater, that means I have to play greater. That means I have to collaborate. That means I have to work with others. If I really imitate the divine Trinity, that's what I need to do. So self-emptying, working together, in a way helping, assisting. The third one is always moving out. Think about the divine Trinity looking down to the world. And think about, this is very grim. Ignatian is very grim to like, your whole world go to hell. Okay? And then they make a decision. The divine Trinity make a decision is what? Let us save the human race. The goodness. Let us save. So we are in the business of saving lives. We're in the business of saving all that is good. That's why I think the whole sense of Ignatian family and the Society of Jesus is we are in the business of helping souls. And by helping souls, we're helping and saving our own soul. See that? I think Jesus came very clear, right? Proclaim the good news of the kingdom. So what does that challenge us? Like sort of three things: self-emptying. What is that? It's not me, right? It's not like it's not my mission. I'm here helping. How do I empty that? How am I just like able to move away my own center? But like, what is God calling us here? And we can do that together. The second one is, again, working together because we already self-emptying, because we enter this relationship, we can work together, and by doing so, we mirror our God. And the third of all of doing is, it's not for ourselves, right? For the others. And then by helping soul. And then what does that mean? Like, Dave Fleming talked a lot about the word ayuda. We are helping. Helping who? Helping the Lord. Participating in this magnificent work of the divine Trinity. And lastly, Dave Fleming in that chapter evoked one of the most beautiful and captured everything in terms of Ignatian spirituality is the experience La Storta. A little background, right? I hope you already went through the story. Ignatius and his companions always want to go to Jerusalem. ever begin, you got to kick out, and then, old dream, old desire, die hard, right? When you got a friend, they still want to go to Jerusalem. Why? Because that's where Jesus is. They want to imitate Jesus. The second thing is you want this help save souls. There's only two things. They vow to each other that. And when the war break out, and then they couldn't go to Jerusalem, guess what happened? When our plan A doesn't work, and that's pandemic taught us, right? What do we usually do? Plan B. To be honest, I don't know your situation like that. I work with the Jesuits during this pandemic. The hardest thing is plan B and plan C. We've always self-fixated on our plan A, and when that happened, we just like, oh my God, this is like that best, right? To be very honest, if you ever work with any immigrant community, Vietnamese, we have plan C. A to Z. If A doesn't work, we're going to go to B. It's really easy to shift here. We all the way, improvise it on head. So it's not a problem at all. But this pandemic, whatever it teaches us, right? Just like Ignatius and companions, we think about plan B. So Ignatius have plan B. So Jerusalem doesn't work, we're going to go to Rome. And that's where the center of the church. And instead of going serving Christ, we think about going serving the vicar of Christ. Helping soul there, helping soul there. But here's the thing, if plan A doesn't work, and you go to plan B, as a human person, what do you usually do? What do you usually feel? Your children couldn't go to SLUH, right? SLUH doesn't work, go to this man, okay, my God, And how do you really feel about that? Is this really real, God? Or is it like I make it up? Or like I feel the blame myself? Right? As a human, we all get into that doubt. Ignatius had that doubt too. My whole life I want to go this way. Now we kind of come up to go to Rome. Is this really the will of God? Is this really the mission? I need to work. Like helping the Lord. So he gave us, that's like Pham was talking about, a beautiful prayer. A lot of time we don't do like that. A lot of time we're like that. Oh my God, let's talk to my spiritual director. Let's talk to the Jesuit. No, Ignatius didn't go to any Jesuit. Ignatius doesn't go to any spiritual director. Guess what he did? He prayed. And he asked directly to the Lord through the intercession of Mary, our mother. And this is one of the most beautiful prayers, and Dave Fleming in that chapter talk about that too. Mary, place me with your son. Think about that. Place me with your son. He asked for that prayer again, finding his center again. Right? When you have that relationship, everything else makes sense. So the whole pastorta, right? If you pray for that, pastorta happen really fast. God the Father appear, and then God the Son appear on the cross going. And then he heard God the Father tell God the Son, I want you to take this man into our service. Meaning what? Ignatius and all of us in the Ignatian family become the companion of Christ. The Lord, God the Father, have called each one of us become a companion and helper of Jesus in this work of redemption. That's our value. That's where we are participating in the extension work of the Divine Trinity. Think about when you come to the school, when you go to work, raising children, washing dishes. We participate in the divine work of the Holy Trinity. And then the promise, I will be favorable to you in all. You ask for confirmation, what's a better confirmation than that? I would say, okay, So it summarizes, and just think about the word. What do you think about the word mission? Think about being helpful. Helpful to who? Helpful in whose way? Okay. Because sometimes helpful in my way could be very dangerous. Being helpful in my way could be very controlling. Being helpful in myself sometimes could be being helpful to me. But if be helpful to the Lord, be helpful in this mission, then we are invited to something much bigger than us. We become